In this data management video, you will learn about sharing your data, including repositories and criteria for storing your data. Scholars frequently publish the findings of their research in journals, using figures or summary data. But sharing the complete data behind those findings is an increasingly important part of the scholarly communication process. Sharing research data can allow for the replicability and verification of experimental findings, and may allow for the reuse of those results in unexpected ways. Sharing your data may also increase the impact of your research. There are several options for data sharing, each with pros and cons. You can submit your data to a publisher as a supplement to a journal article. This is becoming a more routine part of the publishing process, but could complicate access for possible collaborators who don't subscribe to a particular journal. You could post data on an individual or project website. This is a very easy option, but it's important to consider how long you plan to maintain such a site. You could submit to a disciplinary repository, which may collect similar kinds of research data from specific research communities. Some examples include GenBank for genetic sequence data, or Dryad for a variety of data types that occur in the life sciences. A librarian can assist you in identifying a data repository in your discipline. You could submit to an institutional data repository, such as the Data Repository of the University of Minnesota, which collects data from across the institution. These repositories can have a high degree of stability, but don't necessarily specialize in the discovery of your particular kind of data. When sharing and archiving your data, it is important to ask if your data files are in a format that will still be accessible in the long term. Data contained in proprietary file formats, such as Microsoft Excel, or proprietary instrument formats, may become difficult to access if in 15 years the software to open it has changed or disappeared from the market. It's often a good idea to save your data in an open format to mitigate the risks of software becoming obsolete. Files may also need to be migrated to different formats to ensure their accessibility. Some repositories, like the Data Repository of the University of Minnesota, will monitor the status of deposited file types to ensure that they can be opened, and migrate files to more current standards if necessary. Several repositories offer the option of restricting access to your data for a period of time after you submit it. This can be a useful option if you are still preparing publications based on your data and you are concerned about losing a competitive advantage, or if you have made any agreements to protect your data for a period of time. To recap, sharing your data is an increasingly important part of the scholarly communication process. Sharing research data can allow for the verification of your findings and can allow future scholars to reuse your results. There are several options for sharing your data, including websites and data repositories. For details about the Data Repository of the University of Minnesota, or for assistance identifying a repository that meets your needs, contact your subject librarian.